Hello, hello, and welcome back as I resolve to henceforth let Nelwyn's do all my dirty work. In Perfidious, Pete plays XCOM War of the Chosen, and no, I'm not picking on Nelwyn's because they're little. I'm just saying, if you put a Val Kilmer in a cage, it's gonna produce only one of two things. The first thing it could produce is a fat stack of singles hurled there by single ladies looking to catch Val's attention for a good time, and two, the greatest swordsman who ever lived getting busted out of that cage by a well-meaning Warwick Davis, who then gives him a baby that gets stolen by a brownie flying an owl while he's taking a piss. And in either of those scenarios, you know what? It's comedy gold, whether it's Kevin Pollak saying, "I stole a baby!" or, you know, a big fat stack of sweaty ones. I win either way. Busting Thunderheart out of the Hooskow ourselves, though, yeah, that one didn't go so well. All we got for our trouble on that one was a big ass full of Advent boot. And as far as things to wedge in your rectum go, I gotta say, large boots, not high on the list. There are better things to put up there.
Traitors who have left the service of the elders unknown to reside nearby. You would do well to distance yourself from these feckless creatures.
Ooh, feckless. Excellent adjective, Mr. Warlock. I see your word of the day calendar's really been paying some dividends. What do we got? Show of force. That's a large number of Advent troops, which counters bending like a reed. I actually don't like bend like a reed. What else we got here? Operation Mountain Queen. Not to be confused with the Mississippi Queen, or of course, although this could easily be a mission taking place in Mississippi, although it looks more like Louisiana. It does give us a free Lieutenant J. Johnson Ranger counters a hidden event. That's tempting more for the reward than anything else. Advent have a chance to enter Overwatch after being a veal. Don't like that one either. Which is worse, Bending Reed? Bending Reed only applies to stun lancers. That's not that big of a deal. And also, you know what? If they move after they perform an attack, if they attack one of our Blade Stormers, there's a chance they get cut in half at the end of that move, so I don't necessarily hate that. Overwatching after being revealed, though, that I very much don't like. Jay Johnson, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to sit this one out. We could use a new Val Kilmer on the team. I gotta say, I feel like we're a little Val light lately. I want to go in Val heavy, but this one's we gotta thwart this one. Maybe Val heavy isn't a good thing, though, because you could wind up with like 1,000 Val Kilmers, and then you're running into Valerian, the City of 1,000 Worlds territory, and we all know how that winds up. Terrible, that's how. So let's make utility items available, make weapons available, armors available, not that that's relevant in any capacity. A lot of tired folks. We're going to have not a great team here. Real Genius, let's get you and Doc Holliday in the mix then. Doc, who else we got that's a bonded pair here? We could take the Ghost and Virgil. All right. Give me one Fantastic Hunter and one Greatest Killer. Who else we got? Well, I mean, we went to all the trouble to bust him out of the clink. It seems like we should probably use him. Instead, I'm going to take the Janitor, and let's grab... The Janitor's going to wind up tired at the end of this mission. Philip of Macedon. You know what? Let's save Philip of Macedon for a potential next mission. And instead, we busted him out of the clink. Let's make him earn his keep. Real Genius. I think we will give you... You know, we don't really need a Skulljack on this one, although it is sort of appropriate for you, and we do have Skull Mining. If we really need an insta-kill, I guess you could be our man. Maybe a Shield Bearer or something. We keep that around. Doc Holliday, you're our Gunslinger. Let's give you a little bit of armor-piercing ammo. Ghost, you're a hunter. We're going to give you the Battle Scanner. You're a tracking madman. Virgil Adamson, the greatest killer who has ever lived. Let's give you Mimic Beacon, because you won't be able to tell the difference between that and actually you, so it'll fool the enemy all the more because you 100% believe the lie. Janitor's got the med kit for cleanup duty, and Scorch, I guess we'll just give you an incendiary grenade because I'm all out of other better toys. Also, your name is Scorch. There you go. There's the rationalization for it. I'm playing to your nickname. We also really need to fix that nickname and make it where it's actually Thunderheart, though. Operation Diamond Fire. Sounds like a subtitle for a Bond flick. James Bond, Diamond Fire. Although lately they've all been, since Casino Royale, haven't they all been one words? Oh, like all single word subtitles. Now I guess Quantum of Solace. Never mind, I'm out of my head. I may just be confusing of Spectre. Because it's the one that's obvious. No, Skyfall, then Spectre. Like, the last two have been single-word titles. Maybe that's why it's time to go, like, Diamond Swarm or whatever it was. Then they got to get away from the one-worders. Is there going to be any Javier Bardem on this mission, though, John Bradford? That's really what I want to know. It's also something to talk about while our boys cram the syringes full of steroids in their buttocks. Guys, you know, the Academy is looking on here, and they're going to see the quantity of PEDs we're using. You guys are looking at like a 50-game suspension minimum. Maybe keep it on the down low. You got to use something a little less detectable. Just get a syringe full of EPO and pop that in you. That stuff's undetectable like 4 hours after you take it. You could be the next Lance Armstrong. You could be the Lance Armstrong of XCOM. Do we have anybody on this mission who has Bladestorm? I think the answer is no. That's bad. We have a Spectre and a couple of Vipers over there. That's a highly engageable pod.
As you direct.
Let's go engage them. They're highly engageable. Their engageability has been rated as very high.
Go quickly.
Fortunately, Robbie Gallagher's engageability has not been rated quite so high. A space janitor! Yeah, but, you know, she still has to go home and tell her mom and dad she's getting engaged to a custodian. I'm a custodian for NASA! Well, yeah, but, you know, you're still cleaning toilets. Not that that's an ennoble gig. I should think those don't get enough credit. That's a tough job.
Onward.
John Patterson, you actually can't even get in there, though. We could chain a Volt into him. Interesting. The thing is taking damage. Nobody can actually get to him, though. We could pop up here, take a shot, activate the pod, and hope they came toward us. Real genius, you don't have Bladestorm either. Maybe that's our best bet, is to have Doc Holliday come up here, sling a little gun at him, and hope they run at us. We have Doc Holliday go for the old lightning hands here. We got, what, 2 Vipers? That's fine. Doc Holliday with the critical pistol shot. It still only did 4 damage because it's just a pistol. Come at us, bro. Come on, this way. Come towards me. You know you want to. Well, okay. The Spectre did. That's good. We can probably have some guys get to the Spectre then. Do we have anybody who could... you can't rend him. Actually, Doc Holliday can't even get to anybody. Never mind, this has turned out terribly. We could definitely rend you. Like, you're just gonna be dead. And potentially spawn another pod, which would be bad. Let's stay... Also, No Eyes has our Mimic Beacon, which we might need. Let's hang on to Virgil Adamson for a moment, if we might. Who else can get over there? Real Genius, you can get over there. You know what, Real Genius? Let's have you take this job. Kill this Viper, grab a point of focus. Oh, he definitely spawned more guys, though. Well, at least we'll take the attention off the device, so there's that. And this is why we had our guy hold back with the Mimic Beacon, because it turns out we're definitely going to need it. We'll come back to you in a moment. Scorch. I don't see anything better to do with your time than have you come and rend the Spectre. The Spectre is going to be a problem if we leave him untouched. Excellent, we got a little bit of focus. We also got really good damage, which means we should be able to kill you with just about anybody left. Patterson, get in here. Get the kill, get the focus. First you get the focus, then you get the power, then you get the women. It's mostly about the women, though. We're not fooling. Come on. Nobody's fooled by that. Doc Holliday, you could give a bonus action to your boy. I don't necessarily hate that plan. Virgil Adamson, we need you to throw this Mimic Beacon where it can be seen by basically the entire enemy team. which I'm going to say is like somewhere in that vicinity. Rob Gallagher, can you give us anything at all? You could come in and take like a bad pistol shot at that Viper, I suppose. Technically, you could take like 2 bad shots at the Viper. Having you shoot that mech is pointless. That's like equally pointless, though. You know what? Shoot the mech. You might be able to punch through some of his armor, and you got a much better chance to hit him. 1 point. Yeah, it's not very good, but it's something. Hit this Viper with a little bit of the juice there. Give him the Mars Volta. The Mars Volta has done its job. Doc Holliday, you got a bonus action, bro. Real Genius, I want you to parry. First parry. I was hopeful we could then have you go skulljack the robot, but that's not gonna happen.
I strike for my people.
Shut down the robot, maybe? Give me the shutdown.
Their armor is tough.
No shutdown. Well, parry then. You're gonna be taking some damage. You gotta parry. You gotta parry. Virgil, you don't gotta parry. What you gotta do is deploy that mimic beacon right here, pal. Like right in the sweet spot, right there. If it's good enough to fool you, it's definitely good enough to fool Advent. This guy's gonna come take a shot at it. Okay, 3 damage is all he got. Our Mimic Beacon is likely to be able to survive at least 1 more, possibly 2 more attacks. Still grinning. Somebody then has to go take... Alright, perfect. This is exactly what we wanted, which means the last guy is gonna have to take a poke at somebody who is gonna be on the parry. Or he's gonna go stab the thing. Stabbing the thing was actually the worst possible outcome there. Doc Holliday, can you rend this serpent man? Come and butcher this snake man. Don't tell me Doc Holliday is out of ammo. Doc Holliday never runs out of ammo. He did create a little bit of bonus focus that he can't actually use. We'll come back to you in a minute, Doc. It depends on whether we're going to need you to move or whether we're going to need something better out of you. Virgil, come rack yourself a kill. You have earned it. Greatest blind swordsman who has ever lived. Suck it, Rutger Hauer. It's not a very nice thing for me to say to Rutger Hauer. I mean, he seems like an okay cat. What did Rutger Hauer ever do to you, Pete? You know, probably something. I would love to come in here and brain spike a stun lancer, but I'm terrified it's going to spawn another pod, like it did. And we don't get a parry after that. So that's a problem. There's a codex. Oh, good. We've spawned like 4 pods. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted to do. Well, there may not be enough rend in the universe to get us out of that trouble. I mean, I guess we can try and make ourselves a tempting target by putting someone else in the room. Levois? Got 7 damage out of it. We'll come back to you in a minute. The Ghost? Who's your bonus action for? Patterson. Patterson? We could have you momentum move and then also try and make it into the room. And when we bonus action you, have you rend, then have you parry? Who else we got left? Gallagher? Oh, you can't do anything though. Can you maybe come and shoot this other Advent dude? Like, that would be at least something. You got a terrible chance at it, but it's something. Nice work. Way to fail. We should probably just have you run away then. You can't bonus action Real Genius. That's going to leave Levois in a not good spot either, though. Like, we sort of lose either direction on that one. Doc, you got a momentum move. I suppose we could run you around and take you up the flank. pickle. I'm not gonna lie. This is a real. We got a problem here. One pod spawn, I think we might have been okay with. The double pod spawn, though, turns out to have been more than a bit of an issue. We could just have you go and rend again. If we bonus action you and have you rend again. So Ghost, do that. Bonus action your boy. Get Patterson up and running. Patterson, go and murder once again. This takes at least one person off the list of people who can shoot at us. The smaller that list is, the happier we are. We got a repeater and advent data pad. We also made a little focus chunk there. You're gonna parry. Real genius, buddy. I don't know what we're gonna do with you. You're gonna parry. Ghost can't really do anything, although I can't help but notice that the man does have a battle scanner, so we could have thrown it into that room before we just ran in there and got ourselves in a whole shit heap of trouble. Like, the smarter move would have been to just look and see what's in the room. Not quite fast enough to get to there. We're gonna run in, step in some shit, and now we gotta run away and try and scrape that shit off of our boot, and let's just hope that maybe a couple of them go for the device. Codex is gonna I'm not worried about the Codex. She's just gonna hit us with Psionic Bomb, and that's not gonna do shit. Yep. That was a wasted action. Congratulations. You've done literally nothing. Pistols don't run out of ammo. This guy's gonna shield. That's actually very good for us. That means we only have one guy who's gonna take potentially a shot, and it's gonna get parried. And he didn't even do that. Well then. Sometimes the enemy will pleasantly surprise you. Real genius, we're gonna need you to go shield that, kill that man who's doing the shielding. Levois, you're in a little bit of a troublesome position, though. We need to get rid of that Overwatch. Just give him the Mars Volta, it's fine. I think we'll be able to... Did I actually just do... I did 3 damage. Since when is that an enemy? I'm most upset about that, actually. Well, it's time to go big or go home. Advent Shield Bearer, get Skull Knifed, because there's no way we're going to have enough damage to kill you or any of the rest of these guys while they're all shielded. And we whiffed the Brain Spike, so that's delightful. We do still get an action which we could use to rend to try and save our own pathetically desperate lives. This is what happens when you live a life of quiet desperation. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and parry then. Now we got to deal with the Codex, 2 Advent Troopers, and the Shield Bearer, and we don't have a lot of allocated force on the table here. No, I'm still not worried that much about the Codex. It's our guy who's standing out in the... Oh, it's a one-shot kill for Doc Holliday, though. The doctor is in, folks. The doctor is in. And he's not like a good doctor either. He's one of those like crazy murderous Dr. Giggles kind of doctors. The kind you definitely don't want tending to your wounds. We're definitely gonna... we got rid of those shields. Let's go ahead and parry. Robbie Gallagher, anybody you can rend, I don't care who it is. I just want you parrying at the end of this move. Doesn't matter who you gotta go handle, just cut somebody up. It's one of those situations wherein, you know, you really can't go wrong, Gallagher. Doesn't matter who you get, just get somebody. You're gonna parry. Can you guys both get to this Advent Shield Bearer? Yeah. Also, this will make you a tempting target for that other Codex. Now they'll be able to see you. You'll be in the open and immune to damage for the most part. That parry going. I don't want Virgil Adamson getting shot. He did the brave thing. Psionic Bomb is proven once again to be completely pointless to our Templars. Stop hitting that, you jerk. You're just standing there jabbing it with his little knife. Knock it off. Well, there's our parry, which means somebody's probably getting shot here by this coat. Yeah, you're in deep shit. Oh, shot it. I don't know why you did that. I don't care, because it was beneficial for me. Thank you for shooting at a man who's literally unhittable. Also get cut in half. Should have shot the janitor. Never leave a janitor untouched. You know what? That actually seems like bad advice. Typically, in general, if you have an option of maybe leaving a janitor untouched, specifically in this scenario, I'm saying like a high school janitor, you probably don't want to touch those guys. High school janitors are always the weirdest dudes. You never find a high school janitor, you'd be like, oh, you know, he's just like a regular Joe. Just like an average dude. Working a job, raising a family, putting his kids through college. Now, high school janitors, man, they're always up to something. They've always got a backstory or something that's hinky. They're always a little off.
Down and the area is secure. Status confirmed. Mission accomplished.
You know, we executed that one flawlessly, but I don't feel like we earned the flawless. That was the high school janitor of a mission there. Everything looks normal on the outside, but you scratch and just underneath the surface there, you see a whole lot of badness. Like a whole lot of shit you definitely don't want to expose yourself to, lurking just beneath the surface. You saw a story on the news where they're like, a high school janitor this week was arrested with 25 severed heads in his freezer. You'd be like, yeah, you know, all right, seems about right. It wouldn't. His neighbors wouldn't be. They'd go to the news and crew would go to his neighbors and they'd interview him, and it wouldn't be one of those scenarios where it'd be like, oh, you know, he always seemed very normal. He was always very quiet and reserved, kept to himself. They'd be like, you know, I'm not surprised. I always kind of suspected there was something a little off about that guy, and you tell me, hey, he has severed heads in his freezer. Kind of makes sense, actually. If I would have expected it from anybody. I would have expected it of him. Like if you would come to me yesterday before he committed this heinous crime, or rather before his crimes were discovered, and ask me, if you had to pick somebody on your block to say they were like secretly a serial killer, he's the guy I would have picked going in. I'd have been like, nah, the high school janitor guy, yeah, I mean, something's not right there. There's definitely something going on just beneath the surface. Like he's definitely fucking little kids, or I don't know, maybe keeping a freezer full of severed heads. I can easily see him doing that. I only wish I had called the cops yesterday with an anonymous tip. Let's have Patterson and Adamson deepen their bond here, and then I think maybe we'll go back and just do a little more scanning, try and run the clock up a little bit. We don't really have anything else going. We're waiting for Helping Hand to finish. We got some experimental ammo working. What's our current research, by the way? Hypervital module construction was successful. We're currently working on plasma rifle research. Plasma rifle research is acceptable. We really want to get to plated armor, but you don't have to admit it to me either, Dr. Tigan, because I don't want to hear about the severed heads in your freezer. You're one step further gone than your average high school janitor, actually, Dr. Tigan. I got less faith in you than I do of that janitor. Most of the kids he's wandering around sprinkling sawdust on vomit. Maybe don't do that, janitor. Just, you know, clean it up. The sawdust just lets it linger, and then the smell soaks into the sawdust, and then it's just like hanging in the hall in the putrid air. Just clean it up. Get some solvent and actually clean it. Don't just like, oh, we'll let the sawdust get it, and then we'll sweep up. Don't do that, it's gross. Well, the major boon here is that Nick Rivers has gotten promoted from Major. Also picked up some small amount of supplies, but Old Top Secret is going up a rank. We'll take a look at a new covert action. Do we have anything else that gives us promotion? Is there any other promotions available on this one? Nope. We could hunt the Warlock, give somebody +1 mobility. Don't hate that. We could hunt the Hunter 2, give somebody +1 health. Don't hate that either. We don't want to recruit a Reaper, because by and large, we don't really need. Or do we? I mean, we did just miss an opportunity to pick up a new trooper, and if we pick up one now, they would be at the lieutenant rank. Could we use a new lieutenant? I kind of feel like, yeah, we could use a new lieutenant. Speaking of which, Top Secret, let's get you fully promoted. Arc Wave, exchange. Exchanging. So maybe that's how invert is supposed to work. You invert somebody, and then somebody else follows that up with an exchange. Just take Arc Wave. Your, like, secondary abilities here, Rivers, all blow, though. Go ahead and take Shadow Step. All your subsequent abilities are trash, though.
If they would maintain their focus on breaking the false gods, then our alliance will hold.
Don't be firing shots at the Templars. What skirmishers are doing any work right now, Betos, huh? You're in here firing shots at my team? I don't like that. I'm not going to stand for that. You may not agree with our methods, man, but you know, we're getting results. Stupid chief, you can't argue with results. Do we need another engineer? Potentially an engineer could be useful. We wouldn't also mind maybe branching out and making a little additional contact. We could head over to Eastern Europe. Our next region is it is a little bit cheaper. We could alternatively go down to Brazil. Which one gets us closer to a safety valve? Neither one, really. Where's the Black Site, Michigan? That we've already unlocked. So we've got, you're 2 pips away to go to New Australia. We go here. That gets us actually nothing, though. We could just go straight over to the New Arctic. Although, is there no connection from the Western U.S.? I guess there's no connection. The only way to get across there is to spring down through South America, huh? Well, it looks like I guess we're going to Europe. Our next region only costs half as much. If we make contact in Europe, what's it currently cost here? Only 40 intel. I'm okay with this. Let's go make contact with Eastern Europe, and then if that engineer is still on the table, we'll circle back and pick him up.
Until we upgrade our systems.
Don't sweat it, Lily. We're fine.
Attempting to establish local regional contact.
Venom rounds, surprisingly useful for us, actually, because it's just a way for our pistols to get a little bit of extra damage.
Have readied proposals for various covert missions.
Oh, right, I forgot.
To plan our next op.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bradford, I forgot we weren't doing one because they all sucked. We could get a brain... You know what? Betos was recently discourteous to us. I'm tempted to get one of her soldiers and then brainwash him into becoming a Templar, but I'm not gonna. We should probably go for hunting the Chosen Hunter. Let's give somebody an extra 1 health. Who's that somebody gonna be? Philippa Macedon? Let's do Nick Rivers, actually. Why don't you go do that? And then we will give you a bonus soldier of literally anyone. You know what? Take Liv Wap. He's fine. And then we need somebody else to negate the opportunity of somebody getting captured. I guess take old Montgomery there. It's a lot of people to dedicate to a covert action, but we do have to get more intel on the Warlock. Or not the Warlock, rather, but the Hunter. We need to knock a Chosen out. They're starting to get a little uppity. They're getting enough intel now where... mostly they've just been stealing weapon mods that we can't use at all, but... we don't want them to get a big head. If they think they can just come in and take our weapon mods whenever they want, it's only a matter of time before that's going to escalate. Oh good, Dark Tower was a hidden event. Greater losses to their will in combat. That's actually terrible. Probably like the 2nd or 3rd worst Dark event in the game. If I'd have known that was the hidden event, I definitely would have tried to thwart it. And it looks like our next mission is going to be a supply raid. They got any willpower in those crates? Because that's going to be the thing I want to get out of them. More willpower.
Some new facilities.
We need new facilities, Lily? Do we really? Or do we just need to like have the people that we've got working appropriately? Like, you're worried about our lack of contacts? Here, just have Hanson take care of it. She wasn't doing anything anyway. There you go. Now we got 7. You can quit your bitching. Shen's like, oh, Pete, you're not using our resources to the optimum. Really? Was I not? Because I'm still not using them. I mean, yeah, I gave her some busy work. Congratulations. Now she's providing 2 contacts that we don't need. Why not just keep employee morale high? You saw the thing about the willpower, Shen. I was giving her a little extra vacation time, trying to keep morale up, and then you're like, nah, we can't have everybody sitting on their hands, Pete. That's a bad example. You need to take a human resources and personnel management class. You know, people's attitude makes a difference in their performance. That's all I'm saying. You know, like my attitude making this performance poor. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Support really does mean a lot. If you'd like to see more XCOM, might consider subscribing as well. Post new episodes every single day. I'm gonna go do something that isn't play XCOM and see if I can't work on my morale a little bit. By that I mean, when I say something that isn't XCOM, I just mean drink. I'm gonna go drink. So thanks very much for watching. I'll see you again soon.